Hello, 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 and welcome, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate reading for April, May 2020. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very happy to be serving you today. Hope all is well by you. I understand where we all are on planet Earth, but I'm on YouTube, so I'm not going to be talking about it, but I will dance around it here, there, and everywhere. If you are new to my channel, please do like this video, comment below, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. I am putting out content pretty much every single day, live streams and recorded videos like this one, so follow along. We're having a lot of fun, particularly in the evening live chats that I do around 11 p.m. Eastern. We're a lot of fun. Fun group we got going on here at the Drawing the Circle channel. But let's get down to business, shall we? This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs. You're a water sign, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, so really go with your gut. Go with how things resonate within you because, you know, it's not a private personal read. It's a general read. So that's why I do the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, particularly for soulmate, twin flame, path of true love reads, so that you can kind of get different angles. Particularly this particular kind of reading, a soulmate contract read. In other words, soulmates, twin flames are very different, but they are both soul contracts, agreements that you agree to before coming into this body as a soul incarnate, right? The difference between the two, let's just talk about soulmates. We'll talk about twin flames when I do those readings. The bottom line of any soulmate contract is that you help each other heal. Now, there are two video links in the description box below that go into that definition and the difference between that and a twin flame, etc. Go check them out. One's by me and one is by a brilliant spiritual teacher called Matt Kahn, and we'll actually be using his healing mantra deck as the last card down in this reading. Soulmates, they're not all romantic sexual, but, you know, like my mom is my soulmate, one of the many I've had in this life. We help each other heal. But this reading in particular is about the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual soulmate contract that we've all been working towards for how many lifetimes have we been doing this? Always getting a little bit closer, but keep in mind, psychology has really only come into our common vernacular within the past 50 years, at least in the Western world. So, keeping that in mind, we're closer than we've ever been. So this is a good way at looking at what's going on with two souls that have incarnated through a contract. Soulmate contract, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic, all of that. So we'll have one party, the divine feminine over here, and one the divine masculine. Just saying now, has nothing to do with bodily gender. I consider myself predominantly divine feminine. I mean, look what I do for a living, right? I do readings and spiritual counseling, and, you know, it's definitely more of a yin intuitive process than a yang, like you really don't want me changing a carburetor. No. No. Even math I'm not fond of, right? All that is very intellectual, very yang. So keep in mind, you may not be able to immediately know of the two which one you are purely by the intellect. Go with what the gut tells you, how it feels, how it resonates. And there are 17 cards in this spread, so you'll figure it out. You'll know as we go. Cool. That being said, the only thing left I'm going to ask you to do is focus on your breath as we do that. I will do the same. I'm doing it so that I can stay in the present moment and get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that you need, or at least that you want, hence we're watching this video. And if you do the same, you'll really be able to tune into the present moment, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. All the decks that I read are in the description box all the way at the bottom. There's some other cool links to look at on the way down there. Please do check that out. But we're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck. One for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine. You ready? Breathe. Here we go. My divine pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please. 2 cards. One for the divine feminine, and one card for the Divine Masculine in the Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, soulmate contract for April, May 2020. There is our Divine Feminine, and please one for the Divine Masculine. Those came out really easily. Usually they make me work a little bit harder. Before I flip these over, keep in mind the way these cards are written by Caroline Mace, brilliant medical, intuitive, and spiritual teacher. I adore her. She's a tough cookie from Chicago. So the shadow and the light side are defined just attributes of the archetypes. Archetypes are psychological soul patterns, powers that we come into each lifetime in order to develop within ourselves to better the advancement of our souls. In a soulmate contract, obviously. The shadow is supposed to be triggery. It's the stuff you don't want to look at. The light is what you're shooting for. And because soulmate contracts are helping each other heal, this is often the material that the contract is helping each of you heal individually and together, whether you've met or not. In other words, because of the law of one, unity consciousness, the unified field, the quantum field, all that stuff. As you heal yourself, you are helping to heal the other. And then when you meet, it's interesting because you're often like, wow, you worked on that too? That's so interesting, right? It's totally written that way. So let's have a look. Who is our lucky soulmate couple? Well, we've got a Divine Feminine detective archetype, very interesting, member of the Wisdom family of archetype. And we have the Divine Masculine hero, heroine. Now remember, we're not talking about biological gender, so this card puts both hero and heroine, the masculine and the feminine. So I'm going to call this one her and this one him, just to keep my brain from overloading with all of those gendered pronouns. We get it's an energetic dynamic, but this is actually of the action family. So I'm kind of digging this. We've got the wisdom and the action family. That already feels very Divine Feminine, very Divine Masculine. So let me read you what's going on the card. Remember, the shadow is supposed to be triggery. The shadow attribute of the detective archetype, voyeurism, which means to watch others what they're doing without being seen yourself, and falsifying information that you do discover through your detective process. The light attribute, great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. And girl, guy, whatever you are, whoever's watching this, I get that. I've got a nice touch of the detective in me. As a teenager, my parents couldn't hide anything from me. I was always, well, intuitive, right? I'm always able to find the thing that they were trying to hide in the house the second they left the house. And now with the internet, right, it's so easy to just like stay up till 3 a.m. Googling people, as it were. For the Divine Masculine here, we've got the hero-heroine archetype, the shadow attribute, escapism, and false sense of heroism, which often means they are acting like villains, but they think they're being heroes. That's part of the escapism. The light attribute, though, passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So we're used to thinking of heroes as those who rescue others, but those are rescuers. Those are not necessarily heroes, and you can have both. You can have both the hero archetype and the rescuer archetype, just as an example. But definitely, if you think of Heracles or Hercules as the archetypal Greek mythic hero, yes, he did his 12 labors, but he wasn't doing it to be a nice guy. He was trying to get his divinity back. So it was a path of personal empowerment. And all of his labors were about kneeling, bowing, or surrendering. Yeah, tricky. So interesting couple, a detective and a hero. I kind of like that. Like, put them together. It is sort of like, just to put a DC spin on this, it's very Batman and Superman. But let's see what goes with that, because we're going to take 5 cards from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the Divine Feminine, Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit, and 5 cards from the Mythic Tarot from the Divine Masculine, Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit, what I call the Element Spread. Let's have a look at what their elemental makeup is, shall we? Take a nice deep breath. As we're going to talk to the Divine Feminine energy, the goddesses, the collective Divine Yin, half of the universal energy that exists seen and unseen. My goddesses, please. Top 5 cards, element spread for the Scorpio collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please Fire, what does she want? Earth, what does she have? Air, what does she think? Water, what does she feel? Spirit, what is the voice of or the point of view of the soul in this soulmate contract for April, May 2020? Maiden, Mother, Crone. Oh, 1, 2, come here, 3. We'll do the same for him after we're done with her. So here we've got this detective divine feminine archetype. Let's see what she wants. Her element of fire is she wants success through balance. The 6 of Pentacles, right? It is a handicapped race. It is like Special Olympics and wheelchairs here. So it's obviously about, even though there have been handicaps, even though there has been pain, even though that there has been challenges and hardships, the ability to move forward in a balanced way, keeping in mind, like they say in Special Olympics, and this is probably a paraphrase, that anybody who's in the race is a winner. So she wants to move forward. She wants to gain wisdom from this, hence the earth element of wisdom. Wisdom isn't about knowledge up here. It's about knowledge that's been acted upon. It comes from experience. So really wanting to well, I want to say walk her talk, or walk what she's learned, really experience that what she's learned, or at least gain some practical success. And with the word on the card actually being success, breaking through, having a breakthrough in terms of balance. 6s are numbers of balance and harmony. What's her element of earth? This is an element of earth card, but in the fire position, what she wants, what's the earth that will help her feed that fire? And we've got, interestingly enough, look at the parallel, the Chariot along with the 2 wheelchairs there, right? So definitely about forward motion, but the Chariot here is the Amazon. This is a feminist deck. So, you know, it's a little Wonder Woman in a chariot there. It's a lot Wonder Woman in a chariot, actually, this card, but with that white horse and that dark horse, about really channeling the energies of opposites in a certain direction, the left brain, the right brain, the masculine, the feminine, because it is about ultimately balancing the intuition and the intellect that helps us steer our lives. Go purely with the head, you ignore the gut. Go purely with the gut, you ignore the head. It's really getting both of them together. And the way I've always seen this card is like in the morning, getting out of bed, it's like, oh, the dark horse is saying, oh, I just want to stay in bed, and the light horse is like, yeah, but I want to get up and seize the day. And how do we bring those together so that we actually get something done, to find the balance of that? So even here we've got the 6 saying balance, but what she has is about the balance of motivation and inspiration. Motivation is the stick, inspiration is the carrot, so to speak, right? What draws us forward and what we just have to get done. Bringing that into balance. So for a detective archetype, that does make sense, that, you know, she's gonna kind of put that observation and intuition to find the truth for herself and move forward. What's the element of air? Since we have this detective wisdom archetype, we also do think of wisdom as an element of air, a mind thing. And we've got the 3 of Blades. Now in this deck, the 3 of Blades, unlike the 3 of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck, is not a heart with 3 swords piercing through it. This is about focus, a maiden, a mother, and a crone, right? And in the background there is a pyramid, another symbol of 3, as well as a Sphinx, which is a mystery. Now, what is a detective like more than a mystery? There's the mystery of the Sphinx, right? The secret keeper. So definitely her mind is focused on a mystery, something that she does not know. Now, just tuning to this right now, this may not necessarily be a mystical thing. It might just be something that she doesn't know and has to follow the clues and the cues, maybe pertaining to this divine masculine hero, heroine. But just to clarify, this might be a personal mystery for her of, why does this keep happening? Why can't I do this? Or why does that always happen? Or, you know, that the clues are there, but she has to kind of put them all together and follow the trail, right? So let's see what's going on for her emotionally. What's going on? Because again, there's a huge intuitive part of this, literally written on the card, right? Great powers of observation and intuition. So what's going on in her element of water? Like many readings, these two are probably not together. Right here we've got the 8 of Cups, traditionally called walking away, although in this deck I like this version a lot better. Walking into, going deeper into the self, pulling back. Withdrawal is actually the word on the card, to kind of pull back and go within. How am I really feeling? How does this feel? And I get not so much up here because emotions, the heart chakra, depending on the stimuli, depending on the day, depending on all sorts of circumstances, we can feel one way or another from moment to moment. But when we're talking about the gut, when something feels wrong or something feels off, something's off, right? Something's wrong. To pay attention to that. So maybe pulling a little isolation, common theme for everybody, kind of going within, withdrawing for a bit. So even though she has the ability to charge forward here, and there is a focus in the mind, perhaps that focus is bringing her inward to really say, before I act on this, like there might be one horse that's like, come on, let's do this, but this other horse saying, whoa, 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 slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Something feels off here. Yes, I want the success, I want this breakthrough, but I need to feel this out a little bit more, and I don't get it's about laziness. I get like the soul is communicating viscerally, not just through the body, but through that element of water of, I don't know. So if you get that emotions are up here and feelings are down here, yes, they're all element of water, but different levels of power, right? Like when you walk into a room and something says, I gotta get the hell out of here. That's instinct, right? Pay attention. Pay attention to it, particularly now. So the card of spirit, what's the point of view or the voice of the soul? All right, Eight of Flames. Now, Eight of Flames is the Eight of Wands, and you think of the Rider-Waite deck, so it's Eight of Wands soaring through the air, right? Fast movement. Similar here with the card of burnout. But yes, there is that traditional meaning of burnout that we've said yes when we needed to say no. We've kind of overextended ourselves to the point where we burn out. Creatively, I experience burnout at least once or twice a week doing this work, taking clients. Now that everybody's home, my client load has increased. That's why I'm putting out maybe 2 or 3 of these recorded videos a day, but making sure I put out the AM and the PM live streams to connect with people and do what I do best, which is a spiritual teacher and a spiritual counselor to kind of help us all get through what we're going through. Very easy to get burnout. But when it's in the position of the soul, since the soul does not burn out, this can very much be about rapid movement in terms of desire, like how a forest fire, which is a horrible image, I feel like I was a dryad in a past life, right? It just horrifies me to see forest fires, right? It's just the animals and the trees, and it kills me. But definitely how fast moving it can be. So there could be a lot of passion here, a lot of drive, which of course would as well be manifest in this card of the Amazon there. So with that fire, earth, air, water, spirit going on there, you probably have a better idea whether or not you are this divine feminine. But before we completely lock that down, if ever we need to do that, let's do the same with this divine masculine heroine, shall we? Nice deep breath. And we'll do the same, but with the gods. My gods, please, the divine masculines, the divine yang, the other half of the universal energy, please, top 5 cards. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit. What's going on for this divine masculine heroine archetype in this Scorpio collective? Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, satisfying, sexual, soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, element of fire, what does he want? Element of earth, what does he have? Element of air, what does he think? Element of water, what does he feel? Element of spirit, what is the voice or point of view of the soul? Please, top 5 cards. Thank you very much. Son, father, sage. Son, father, sage. Sort of like son, father, grandpa. Element of fire, what does he want? Interesting. When you got the 4 of Cups, it's definitely a card of emotional disinterest or even boredom. Where things have gotten stale a little bit. Now, why would somebody want that? My interpretation when this card hits the fire position is that, can we get on with this? Like, that's the element of fire. It's like, okay, this is really boring. This is really stale. I am not happy, because the next card in the suit would be the 5 of Cups, which is usually emotional upset or at least emotional change. So 4s are about rest and stability, but here we have a real dissatisfaction. Psyche, married to Eros. She doesn't know she's married to the god of love. They've never seen each other face to face, though they are married. Talk about a blind marriage, right? And her sisters come to visit because she is lonely, and the sisters are whispering into her ear. Well, how do you know? How do you know? What if he's not the god of love? You've never seen him. He could be a total monster. You don't know. So it creates this dissatisfaction, this stagnation. So nobody wants that, unless this is about really wanting emotional rest, which in this time it could go either way, depending on your life situation. But my sense of this is, it's like, can we get on with this? You're getting a little bored. The water is getting stagnant and murky. Can we move this along in terms of the emotions, with that element of fire wanting to get on with it? So what's the element of earth that would help him feed that fire? Well, the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. Now, here's the thing. This would say, if it's in the element of earth, that the wish is there, and it's capable for the wish to be fulfilled, but there's still a cup missing. It's the Nine of Cups, not the Ten of total fulfillment. So I'm going to say that this divine masculine hero here is like, can we get this last cup, please? Can we finalize this deal? Can we move this through? I've been waiting a really long time for this. Yes, I can see it, I can taste it. And keep in mind, everybody had other plans for these months, right? Even if they didn't know exactly what they were in every detail, written in stone and scheduled. Nothing's written in stone. But, we're all on pause right now. We're all on hold right now. And for a hero, an action family archetype, that's no bueno. I mean, it's not comfortable. It's necessary for where we are right now, but you sort of catch the vibe on that. So it does feel like he's got pretty much everything that's emotionally satisfying, and yet not quite there. Kind of needing that last cup to complete the cycle, which will happen organically, but not at perhaps the timing they would like it, considering what's going on the planet. I mean, really, just to kind of pause this for a second, to understand that if you're not with a soulmate right now, like you're happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, because if you are, why are you watching a reading? Keep going, right? You're doing fine. There's challenges galore, but yet soulmates always tend to work themselves out, those contracts. But if you're not, and there's somebody you want to be with, whether you know them or not, you just gotta wait, right? There's nothing to do but wait right now. And heal yourself, dude, because anything you do to heal yourself, you are literally, vibrationally, according to the quantum entanglement of it all, helping your soulmate heal as well. Whether you know each other, whether you've met, whether you do know each other, can't be together. So for the divine masculine, your heroism really is about that passion for a path of personal empowerment for yourself right now, because it feels like close but no cigar is the word they just gave, the phrase they just gave me. I like that. It's like so close but no cigar. Let's keep going. What's going on in the element of air here? What is he thinking? Well, he wants to take control. This is the divine masculine card. It's the Emperor. It's Zeus, who can throw lightning and instantly change everybody's life as a result, particularly his own. So he's thinking about it, but may not be able to actually do it, right? Now, to say that the Emperor is a control freak, I don't think that's completely accurate. That would certainly be the shadow side of the Emperor, but is also the one who plans, who negotiates, who has strategies, the great strategist there. And in its lightest side, the Emperor really wants everyone to grow and prosper. That to rule is to serve, so says the I Ching by Lao Tzu, right? So keeping that in mind, this could absolutely be a hero, but can you tell the difference between a hero and a villain there? The light and the shadow with this hero-heroine archetype there in terms of what they're thinking about all of this. Be a hero. Billy, for this one, be a hero. Sorry, that's a 70s song reference. If you're not familiar, go look it up. So the element of water, what is he feeling? Page of Swords, really wanting to communicate. But to communicate Pages are immature, and I don't necessarily mean childish, but just like an acorn is an immature version of an oak tree, right? Like a seed is the immature version of a plant. It's not quite a vegetable, it's not quite a flower, it's a seed. So to kind of look at, there is definitely a page. A page is a messenger, an emotional message, perhaps not just wanting to, which would be element of fire, but feeling it, feeling a need to communicate, even just a hi, which can indicate that these two know each other. And certainly that she's going within in the element of water. She might not be ready to receive that yet, and yet does want the success and the breakthrough. Has the ability to initiate the action here, but because of what she's focusing on, kind of going within herself for her own healing there, her own interior detective work. But I'm not going to say definitely that she's not going to be into it. It's just she's taking her time because there's great passion here, a great desire for forward motion. So I get that Page of Swords wanting to communicate in a very verbal way, a very mental way, even if it's the immaturity of sending it to, and again, immaturity, I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's like a beginning, like saying, like, hi. Right? Instead of, I love you so dearly, when I think of you, my heart expands like the rays of the sun, you know. It might be like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, but I can feel as I touch this card of the hero is chomping at the bit. So is the detective, but being a little bit more covert about it, sort of cooling her jets. What's her last card here in terms of the card of spirit, the point of view of the soul? The world, a successful completion. So the soul is saying, finish the journey that you're on. Take this to completion. Bring it all the way through. Don't do this prematurely. Take your time. Make sure that you have achieved some sort of wholeness, completion, healing, and balance within the self. Complete your own. Well, does one fully complete their personal journey of empowerment? There are stages of it, like look at the hero's journey, but even when the hero completes the journey, a new journey begins. At the top of every mountain is the foothills of the next, particularly in relationships, right? You get to one level of it and then the next level begins, right? In the never-ending story. Great, I'll have that song in my head, and I'm not bothered by that. Anyway, let's move on. We've got the majority of the cards on the table. Right, we've got 12 of them. We've got 5 more to go, 2 of which are going to be from the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen. I almost said the name of my chiropractor. Doreen Virtue. My chiropractor's name is Doreen. Doreen Virtue, Healing with the Angels Oracle. We're going to get 1 for the Divine Feminine, 1 for the Divine Masculine, and these will represent the angelic celestial healing forces working with them in their soulmate contracts to help them heal individually, but again, that's going to help them heal each other. Very holographic soulmate contracts. Breathe. My angels, there you are. Hi, hi, hi. Please, my angels, 2 cards, 1 for the Divine Feminine, 1 for the Divine Masculine in this Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, my angels, can I have 1 for her right off the top? Thank you. And can I have 1 for him, please? They're slinging these cards for you today. She's got the Angel of New Love. So whether this is brand new or they haven't met or they've met but they can't be together because, duh, planet Earth at the moment, or if it is a renewal of love, a new love for self, this is sort of the angel saying, honey, you're in a place of new love right now, and I get that. She may want to really chomp at the bit, but because there's the detective archetype, she's like, let me observe, right? Great powers of observation and intuition. So it feels like this in the mental is the observation, that 3 of Blades focus, but here this 8 of Cups in the emotion is the intuitive aspect. So with the Angel of New Love there, I could see her really wanting this, wanting the breakthrough, and at the same time, white horse, dark horse, right? Light horse, dark horse, white horse, black horse. Perhaps a bit of emotional conflict there, needing to move it all forward before taking action. Who's he got? He's got the Angel of New Beginnings. Now, I'm just going to say, with this card of the World is the last card of the major arcana. So why wouldn't it then lead to the next card down in his spread being a new beginning? So really, I'm going to say what I said before. The voice of the soul is saying, look, honey, get yourself together. Complete what you have to do. Heal as much as you can on your own right now so that you can walk into this in a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise way, because there is a brand new beginning, not just for you, but for this contract, obviously with new love and new beginning. That's pretty... These readings have been very clear this time around, I have to say, and it really feels like none of them are in the same proximity. I mean, that can't be true for everyone in these reads, because there's always going to be a variation in the quantum field. Some of you might be living in the same building, or some of you might be together, but are needing time alone right now to do your own personal processing. But it feels really good. This feels like a very wise, balanced thing, and most of them have. So let's get two more cards from the Healing... Sorry, I'm getting my decks crossed in my mind. The Whispers of Love Oracle, which will be the voices of the higher selves of all involved. Nice deep breath. The higher selves of all involved, please. Two Whisper of Love Oracle cards. One for the Divine Feminine Detective and one for the Divine Masculine Hero Heroine in this Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please one for her and please one for him. These cards can be very direct, so let's see what they have to say. For our Divine Feminine Detective, miracles and blessings. Everything has its gift. So that might be part of why she's pulling away emotionally, is that there is interior gifts that she is receiving as a Divine Feminine and following the clues. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the woman here, she took a boat to an island and is following a trail of cups. Some are upright, some are knocked over. So really, like a detective, perhaps... Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. James Woods, Family Guy there for you. But I can feel that, you know, sort of doing her own miraculous process, kind of discovering her own blessings in this time of, let's face it, doesn't feel like a blessing, but preparing her for this new love, regardless of whether they know each other or not. What's he got? Slow down. Slow your roll. And isn't that really indicated here with that the point of view of the soul, the world? It's like, just clean your plate first, right? Finish your meal and then we'll have dessert. You'll get to that new beginning, but slow it down. When you are excited, you get ahead of yourself. Take some time to allow things to unfold. That just makes a whole lot of sense. And I have to say, these soulmate reads this time around, I don't think it's just the spread, it's the lay of the cards, what's coming up here, really has been giving some very wise counsel considering the time we are in. And though both of you may very much wanting to be getting on with it, right, that Four of Cups, come on, let's get on with it, you're literally being told by a card to slow down. And also there's a miracle and a blessing here. Because of the quantum entanglement of a soulmate contract, what really affects one affects the other, right? Last card down, I'm going to get you a Healing Mantra deck card from the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck. One side of the card is the name of the mantra, the other the mantra itself. That's all that's written on the card, so I will use the book to get you a little bit more information. There's usually a paragraph or so, a very hopeful delineation and definition in there. And there's only one of these, so it doesn't matter who's watching this, if it's the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine. If you work the mantra, allowing the subconscious mind to become familiar with the mantra and its vibration, you will begin healing at a more rapid rate than if you didn't. And remember, as one of you heals, it's helping to heal the other one as well. Whether you know each other or not, whether you've met each other or not, whether you're in the same vicinity, locality, house, or room or not, it doesn't matter. Lovely thing, the quantum, how it trumps time and space that way. I believe it also trumps. Anyway, breathe. Because it's a tarot reference, trumps. It's what they call the major arcana. I think I'm going all political on you. Breathe. Just made the Ascended Masters laugh. Okay, the Ascended Masters. Yes, I'm here to love everybody. I know, please. My Ascended Masters of Soulmate contracts. Yeah, they exist. There's a special branch of the Ascended Masters. I've met them. Please, my Ascended Masters. One card in clarity. For the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in their happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, soulmate, satisfying soulmate contract for April, May 2020. What is the perfect healing mantra for them that will help them heal themselves and each other in this contract? April, May 2020. Discovering happiness. I like this. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. Oh, doesn't that just resonate like a bell, right? I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. In other words, yes, you're chomping at the bit, but this is really more about being here and now and allowing yourself to be content as things are, that there's probably a divine timing thing here, not to mention what's going on the planet right now, right? So discovering happiness. Let's see what the bookie book has to say about this. Again, the mantra, I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. When happiness is discovered, you are inspired, excited, and passionate about the gift of being alive. Now, I really feel like that's what they're both doing individually, and when better to take stock of how you feel about being alive than where we are on the planet right now. There is a willingness to open your heart to the mystery of each moment, divine detective, whether you're getting what you want or witnessing unexpected outcomes. Snap. The discovery of happiness frees you from needing life to bring you more of this or less of that. The true joy of being yourself has dawned. And that is going to help heal the world the more of us are doing that. So memorize this mantra. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am, even though societal pressures and empathic influences may steer you in the other direction. Feel what you got to feel, do what you got to do, follow your gut and all of that. But to allow yourself to be content exactly as you are. Not with the way things are, but as you are. This mantra is ideal for facing disappointment, case of the womp womps, developing self-approval and feeling fulfilled. Because you are whole and complete into yourself. You don't need someone else to complete you and satisfy you, but to bring forth that happiness that is inherent within you is a blessing upon any relationship, but really is going to help each other heal through this discovering happiness. So what I'm going to do, in case you are new to my readings, is when this is over, I take a picture, but I am going to edit it in a lovely little moment that I like to call magic clap. Because we start with the divine feminine in the shadow attribute, voyeurism and falsifying information, and I have to say I'm not feeling a ton of that with her, particularly with this going within, with this Eight of Cups. If anything, it feels like these are great powers of observation and intuition and a desire to seek the truth, perhaps within herself, with that Three of Blades in the mind and that Eight of Cups in the emotional field. What she wants is that Six of Pentacles, right? That success under handicap, that perhaps she has done this before in twin flame relationships, which again are very different than soulmate contracts, but is really ready to find that equal give and take, that balance, really wants to be in something that has a chance of success. And what she has is that card of the Amazon there, that emotional willpower, that balancing of the light and dark horse, the yes and no, the yin and yang, the intellect and the intuition to move her forward. Yes, very much a Cancerian card, but remember, the sign of Cancer, the crab, is cardinal water, but it is known for its moodiness. So, she might feel different ways about this, but she can still move forward with clarity and action, taking the reins. And part of her doing that is the balancing of her mind with the Three of Blades, the focus upon observation, like really observing what's going on in her life and in the world, kind of focusing on things rather than just taking in like a general tide of information, really being a bit more focused, not so much to the point of being critical minutia, but focused. And I believe that's driving her within herself with that Eight of Cups withdrawal, really following the intuitive leads within herself. And I think she is going to come in contact then with that Eight of Flames, that passion, that desire, that card of burnout, something moving very quickly. Now, that doesn't mean that she can't be burned out by everything else that's going on from the point of view of the soul, but that there's even miracles and blessings there, that everything has its gift, that exactly where she is exactly where she's supposed to be, which is why I allow myself to be content exactly as I am is a perfect mantra for her. Looking at the divine masculine heroine here, the shadow attribute, escapism and false sense of heroism. Perhaps he has been playing the role of the villain elsewhere, and this detective might be picking up on that and not so sure she's ready to dive in, particularly because we're not supposed to be diving in right now. The light attribute, passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So really, divine masculine here, you have a choice between escapism, playing villain, or taking the path of personal empowerment and finding your passion therein. Because I kind of get the Four of Cups, what he wants is, nobody really wants emotional dissatisfaction, but that feeling of meh, it's a little meh, can we get on with this? I want more, I'm dissatisfied, this isn't enough for me where I am right now. Now, of course, going back to that mantra, I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. That doesn't mean that we put up with abuse, neglect, and there's nothing wrong with stagnancy. Sometimes we have to feel that stagnancy in order to get that passion for the personal empowerment journey. And, what he has is the Nine of Cups. He has the wish, and I feel like it's so close to being fulfilled, but that there's a global pause on everything right now. P-A-U-S-A, not P-A-W-S. This is Scorpio, not Libra, not Leo. So that Nine of Cups really, and that leads me to think that a good chunk of you all know each other, and you had plans, and you were going to do this. So know that if this is the relationship that you are dealing with, this is a soulmate contract, it's going to work itself out. Because even in his mind, he's got the card of the Emperor, trying to figure out, well, how can I control this, and how can I make this happen? What's the protocol? But we're in a different world now, so that could be why even in the emotional part, the Page of Swords is just say hi, right? Just keep in touch. Keep it light. Keep it easy. Keep it emotionally uncomplex right now, that things are as they are, which of course allowing yourself to be content exactly as you are would be a very healing thing to do that. Because even the soul is saying everything is completing right now. You're at an end of a cycle. Get to the top of this mountain before you start thinking about being at the foothills of the next, right? That there is a successful completion here in terms of a soul lesson, that you will be able to so much more contribute to this relationship. Now, keep in mind, the angel for her is new love, and the angel for him is new beginnings. So they are kind of wrapping up stuff. It's like sort of making sure all the pots and pans from last night's dinner are clean so that you can have a good breakfast, right? A real new beginning here for both of them, a new love and a new beginning. And considering that hers is miracles and blessings, the message from the higher self, and his is slow down. When you are excited, you get ahead of yourself, take some time to allow things to unfold. This is very, very wise counsel from the higher self, because there's a miracle that she's unfolding within her own personal life and energy field that's going to bless, right? Be a blessing and a miracle for this contract, as well as for him. It's that thing to slow down, to let things to unfold, that it feels like his mind, that Emperor card, might be driving him a little crazy in terms of wanting to control it and moving forward and manifest it, but climb the mountain one foothold at a time, because really this is about discovering happiness. And isn't it funny how a detective is about discovery of information and wisdom, and the hero is about discovering what's going on the hero's journey. So if they allow themselves to be content exactly as they are individually, they might find themselves being very happy as they discover each other exactly as they are. So there we have it, my Scorpios. I really like this reading for both of you. So may the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed in their soulmate contracts for April, May 2020, that they experience that new love and that new beginning as they complete things, as they find their passion, discovering happiness, being content exactly as they are, together or apart, for the well-being of all. So motivate. And so it is. Thank you for watching, my darlings. Again, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment, and do check out the description box below. There's some cool vids down in there, even some of my on-demand stuff on Vimeo you might be interested in watching about the path of true love. But for now, my sweethearts, my darlings, my Scorpios, I love you so. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.